Okay, we're looking at keybase because that's where we want to put robot. And then we'll be showing you macrobot later in Discord. But Gary's going to give us an introduction to keybase, which is a system. It's really easy for people to sign up, give proofs about who they are, strong identities, and very secure, and does financial transactions. So I'll let you go ahead, Gary. I'll fill in.
Okay. Yeah, keybase is a place where you can set up your identities and tie your account on keybase to different things like I have it tied to my GitHub account here, my Reddit account, my Hacker News account. You know, these are like level after level of you know, proof that I could provide that I am who I say I am.
GitHub.
Huh? Okay. You can go and see my proof.
That's Twitter. You wanted to see GitHub.
Oh, you want the GitHub? Okay.
It doesn't matter.
So I give keybase permission to go post this. What is this? A file here on it's keybase.md, and you can see that it says that this is who I am, and it's a public file, and there is my identity on keybase. There's my public key, and I signed this document right here, and I didn't realize the signature was that long, but there's the key I signed it with, yielding that signature. I guess that all makes sense.
On Bitcoin, or maybe this isn't, but your identity, the root of your identity is on Bitcoin.
So how does this public key associate with your GitHub account?
Well,
but this file is located on my GitHub page. See, this is my name on GitHub.
I see.
Okay, I hereby claim. Okay, and this is my public key, which is the public key on keybase.
Okay.
Okay, so this is your identity.
And
Gary on GitHub is the right guy that you're sending the money to.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, you know, you get a similar sort of thing here on Reddit, Hacker News, Twitter, so on and so forth. I won't belabor that, but it is a very comprehensive collection of identity methods that one might use. Now, okay, so everybody goes on here and creates an account, and for your first, you know, when you first get on here, you just add something, you know, will be sufficient. But then the interesting thing is it's very easy to create new accounts.
Yeah, don't bother.
Oh, okay. I was going to actually walk him through creating an account, but I'll let him do that.
Okay, well, you could. It would be better if he did that.
Okay, that's fine. So anyway, once you create your account, which you'll find out you may create multiple accounts, and that sounds sort of sinister going out the gate, but it's really not, because all these other accounts you create, you can turn over to bots, and bots can now control those accounts just through the name that you've assigned to the bot. It's magical. I mean, it's wonderful.
Yeah,
you know,
it enables your user agent, okay, to act in your behalf. Okay, so that you can die and it'll still carry out your will.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming. So you mean you create multiple accounts, and each account is or a robot or
Yes, yes. Well, in my case, I have one other account, and it is a robot, and I call it Gary Bot,
mm-hmm.
and it's an implementation of robot as well. But we won't investigate that right now.
Mm-hmm.
But now, see, we have our teams here, and anyone can create as many teams as they want. These are all teams that I've created. Dig Life, McBot is a team I've joined. I didn't create that one. Notice it has 142 members, and that's how many people are interested in a team that is dedicated to building keybase bots, automated bots, like Robot, but they don't all use JavaScript. They use all kinds of frameworks. And so I've got the Rolang channel is the one I'm directing all the Rolang people to for now. We'll probably create a new structure, but when we go to this channel, we see these are the members of the channel. Now I have to move my screen around. And I can go into the chat mode up here. And as you see, this morning we've been having a conversation with Ned, Steve Henley, and Jim Scarver here. We were talking about Stellar being at 12 cents on Coinbase. But I was going to go up here a bit and notice this weather bot up here. Where did the weather bot go?
What's this RDA? Who's that? You said Jim Scarver? What did he do?
No, RDA is the guy that created this weather bot here.
Okay, go up higher, and there's a message that has Jim Scarver in it from RDA.
Oh yeah, I can explain that to you. Where is it? No, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, I can see that RDA followed me or something. I didn't know who that was.
Yeah, well, this is who he is right here, and I'll show you. Weatherbot. Love it. Here he did it. See? He turned on Weatherbot up here, and somebody got it to provide help, okay? Or actually, I think it just finally became activated since I issued my command earlier in the evening. And then Weatherbot says, I just updated the bot to respond to commands in this channel just now. So that meant he had to turn on a listener to this channel, which the bot was a member of, but it wasn't listening for messages to it. And so he just addressed it to me, and so that's what Weatherbot puts out. That's the report that Weatherbot does.
Okay, I thought I saw a Jim Scarver one like that. No.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
He was. Yeah, that's RFA. He's the guy who wrote the Weatherbot, and he can communicate either as RFA or through the Weatherbot.
Oh, okay. I put in :LWX and I didn't get a response.
Oh.
And he says I should have put in an exclamation point. I wanted to find the weather in East Windsor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so anyway, that's if we go over here to the
whole session tomorrow on keybase bots at NYU.
That's wonderful.
This one is hosted implemented in IPFS.
IPFS is where it stores all the data, right?
Oh, okay. So you install the data in IPFS.
Right.
I see. But how about the GUI, the app itself?
Well, you can run it in the browser, or they have apps for every platform, or you can run it from the command line. You can install the keybase app, keybase on, and run it in the command line.
So how about the server? There's no server. Everything is written in backend. Cool.
It's decentralized and it's totally private.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. I mean, this is the model. This is what we want to do on our chain.
Okay, Jim, I can't think of anything else I want to show him here, but I want to show you something that I discovered just today in regards to I think it's the Lumen. I want you to look on the Stellar Developers, dApp Developers site, what they talk about when they talk about dApps over there. Look at this. They're talking about bots.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really all they care to support. It's not really a platform for a program, a contract language. It's just a payments platform.
Right.
So they don't need.
Right. That's why all these guys in New York, they want to have macrobot to program their bots.
Sure. And then we've got a bridge between Lumen chain and rchain.
Yep, absolutely. We can trade rock and for lumens, and a lumen is pegged to $1 always. Okay, so
okay, what you were going to try to show something, Jim? Unless
okay, well we're gonna look at a little macrolang. Gary is already an expert, right, Gary? Oh, where is macrolang?
I kind of know how to find my way around in there, but by no means an expert.
I don't know what I'm doing here.
I need to step away just a second.
Oops. Check out my mail. Oh, where was I? Okay, macrolang. Okay, these are the commands, and this is the I guess I should give a little introduction, right? What is macrolang?
What is macrobot, not macrolang?
Macrolang is what.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure I was clear what you were going to start with.
Yeah. Okay. Reflective process calculus is necessary for us to control our asynchronous processes. But Rolang is simple but not easy, and what we're trying to do is make it easy, and we're putting it into the chatbot environment to make it accessible within the flow of communication, so that when people are communicating, they can access the capabilities of our chain. So we define macros, and macros substitute pieces of Rolang into our code, so that we don't have to write the same code over and over and over again. We do the same thing, and we can substitute parameters in it. We can do some logic, whatever. But it's client side. Of course, it doesn't run on our chain, right? And we have macros to process generating the Rolang, but we don't yet have macros to render, or a formatter to render the output from our chain, which is sort of necessary if you're going to have more than a really dumb interface. You want to be able to format the output. But okay, so we define macros to parameterize Rolang snippets, allowing them to be used like user-defined commands, functions, or variables. So we get a lot of mileage out of them. Okay, we can use them to make commands. We can use it for several purposes. Generating code to be run, and currently on a Discord server, and we're
Jim?
looking at our keybase for greater security.
Jim, you're sharing Mattermost screen with me, but you're reading from a different document.
Oh, wonderful! You tell me now.
Well, I figured both of you could see it on that side, but our viewers at home won't have seen it.
Tutorial here, you know.
Start over. I was trying to figure out what in the world you were, how you were coming up with all that spontaneously.
Okay, well, I guess they don't have to see me reading. This is the macrobot on Discord document, which is pinned to the robot channel on Discord. And we have built-in commands, built-in personal macros, private data locker and macro commands, mailbox, directories, voting, time article debugging, convenience macros, example, events. I don't know if we're not going to go through the whole document.
Okay, but can I stop you and make one suggestion now?
Sure.
This idea, all this business about mailboxes and so on and so forth is pretty, it's a lot of cognitive overhead for the beginning Rolang programmer. You know what we should do? We should let them set up these simple accounts on Keybase, then tie these complicated rchain addresses through Robot.
I'm just not sure I understand the suggestion. I'm distracted.
Complicated Roland address to something more easier to write. That's define, right? You can define anything.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just thinking Keybase addresses are so much easier to work with than all we have to work with in our mailboxing system now.
Yeah, right now we have dummy IDs that are based on our Discord ID. That's all what we have. That's all we have. Okay, but then it's easy to make it anything. I mean, it's simply an address, which we can use the public key as the address for Keybase. Right. Okay, and I mean, I can show you how that works, but okay, so show, we give it a name of macro. It shows us how the macro is defined. Echo expands all the macros and shows us what the Rolang looks like ultimately. Okay, things like the macros for private key, username, and everything are not expanded in the Echo because everybody will see them in the channel.
So how can you scale personal macros?
Personal macros are set by the robot. Okay, in other words, you can't fake them. Okay, if you on a certain Discord account, it's going to use the name and the private key associated with that account. is not going to let you choose something different.
Okay.
Okay, that's how the identity works. It's a fake identity. It uses toy keys right now. It needs to be upgraded to, they've changed the way signatures and everything work. So we're using these toy keys until we can get around to updating it to use the real signatures of Rolang as it exists today. This scheme was developed by Dan for the toy keys, over a year ago, and
Okay.
before they had the capabilities that they have today. Okay, evaluate. This is the way we run Rolang. Okay, and then define. The define command allows us to define keys, and we can define a key, a simple variable name, or with a name with code, or we can provide dummy arguments. Then the find command lets us find what commands are available, what macros are defined. And then there's debug level. We keep, if you're giving a demo of something you know it's going to run, you can set the debug to 0 so that you don't get too much noise in the channel. But normally I leave it on because you never know when something's going to go wrong. Okay, to deploy simply deploys whatever you last evaluated. And the propose proposes everything that's been deployed.
Yep.
Okay. That's it. That's simple. So we show a macro name, example, show print, and we see that we define $print to take a dollar expression, which does a new $standard out, which is another macro. So we use the macro here in the definition of another macro.
Yep.
Okay. And we say standard out, write the expression. So we show standard out. Oh, and it shows us. It shows us how this standard out here is defined, which is simply the name standard out given to the rchain, the IO standard out, which is the log of the node.
Yep.
I don't know how much Rolang you know.
Yeah, I can understand you.
Okay, so we can echo, and then we use it as a function. $print hello concatenated with world.
Yep.
Okay, and it shows us how this gets expanded. The echo shows me what the Rolang that's going to be executed. And then we can do an eval to actually use it. $print 1 + 1. Robot says 2.
Yep.
And it tells us what it will cost to deploy it. And we can use it as a command, print : 1 + 1. 2. Okay, this makes the user interface pretty easy for simple applications. So in order to use your application, people don't have to know any Rolang at all. They just have to know the command. Okay, and here I just print a list. I don't know why. $ballot is the URI for the ballot contract. Now, since I ran this, I have a different version of the ballot contract. So the URI, if I do go to the robot testing channel here. And don't tell me I'm going to get 2 deployment costs here today. I guess I am. We introduced a bug the other day, Gary.
I did.
I don't know. I probably did. Although I guess you were editing, right? I don't know. One of us did.
Well, did you fix it or are you fixing it now?
No, I'm not going to fix it right now. We'll see if it happens. You see how we have deployment cost twice? On the hello world there. Power is off in 5 minutes. What happened? There's no power here? Plugged in.
Deposit 25 lumens.
Press any button to prevent the power off. I guess I better check my battery, huh? The battery's fully charged.
Green favor.
What's running out of battery? This? I think so. I don't know why it said that. I don't know if you saw that on our screen.
No, we didn't.
If I echo dollar ballot, we see that it's the row ID, the URI, 3PXD. If we look here, oops.
Is this running on the test net? If I can.
No, not now. It's running standalone.
Okay.
But that's one of the things that we'll do in one of these work studies. Where am I? 3PXD. You can see here it was 3QF7. So every time we make improvements to the ballot process, we get a different address. But if we use $ballot in our code, we don't have to go back to our code and change it to the new URI. It will get substituted at the current value of ballot. I have this right here. Okay, this is actually defined in the code. Robot looks at the logs and it sees that we define ballot to do this. So the row line causes robot to set this value. You don't have to actually type the define command. Find, and if we wanted to find ballot contracts, we would find allowed to vote, match ballot here. We see $ballot. We see new ballot. We give it a name and a choice set. And we see vote ballot, what ballot you're voting on and what your vote is. Okay, and so I didn't show the output up here, but this is example usage of that. You can find a ballot of colors, set green, red, blue, allowed to vote Tim Scarver, vote results. And we're not going to go into too much detail on that now. I guess now it's sort of up to us where we want to go with this, and I wonder where. Oh, hi, Steve. I don't know how long ago you joined.
Hey, Jim.
I just noticed you there.
Is that attic B next to you?
Why is it?
Hi, I'm Steve Henley. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to pause the recording and we're going to see what power gets turned off here in 1 minute. Okay, we are back. We didn't die. That's the basics. Okay, if we just do find with a colon, every command ends with a colon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is a built-in command, so we can't call it as a function. We can only call it as a command.
Mm-hmm.
Define. If we just give no argument, it'll show us all of the macros that are defined and what their signature looks like. And you can see
That's the macro defined by you or
anybody.
anybody.
Yeah. Anybody can define a macro. This is cooperative working. So if you want to have your own server with your own robot.
You code, ballot one, and I change this macro into another contract address. This will become control.
Yeah, there are some issues. You know, this is basically presumed to be a trusted community to some extent.
So if people define 1,000 macros here, then you put in find and it'll follow up with.
There's going to be 1,000 macros, right?
Yeah.
So we can. Okay, the basic thing is make my locker, and I don't know if you can use Discord. You want to use your computer and run Discord?
Yeah, I need to get another computer. Then.
Oh, because we're using your screen.
Yeah, I can just use this thing.
No, you don't. No, you're me here. It has to be you.
Cool.
You use your phone? No.
I was thinking about putting instructions in the welcome bot to tell people how to go and join Keybase.
Yes, there probably should be, a Keybase protocol document.
Yeah, we need to work on that first.
And the basic thing you might want to copy and paste into the channel with a link to the document. I mean, some people aren't going to read it. Actually, you go to Keybase and set up an account. It's easy. $show is not a command. $show: is a command. See? No $sign.
No $sign.
Show commands are a lowercase letter.
Oh, yes, but not a macro.
Not a macro.
Yeah.
Okay, this was just a test. I was testing new lines.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I can still do something like print colon should be able to do quotes. Can I do quotes? I don't know. I don't think I can. print quote, if I do print quote dollar this, it's going to print dollar this because in quotes, it's not going to expand the macro.
Is there anything I can eval?
Anything you want.
Something interesting? Does the vote work?
The vote probably, maybe it's in the middle of development, so it wouldn't. It's not necessarily reliable. We're improving it. And we've been working on it in our Mondays and Thursday work study. Well, vote. There is no ballot one. What happened? Illegal character dollar sign at 198. Okay, so there's right now there's a problem. Okay, if we do an echo. Of dollar vote. Okay, this is the row line that you just ran. Okay, and it said that line 198, there was a dollar sign. Okay, and here's my username. Okay, I couldn't find your username. I couldn't find your locker. You have to have a data locker in order to vote. Now, before that, you need to get permission to vote.
Okay.
So you vote was not going to work, period. But if you do a make my locker colon, then that creates an identity for you.
How is that? Make locker?
Make my locker.
That's it? Make my locker any update?
Nope.
And then?
Enter. Yeah.
Okay.
Make my locker colon. Command, it always ends with colon.
Oh.
Okay, because different bots, they always start with a different.
Hold on. And anything?
No.
That's that?
Yeah. See, most of the bots, they start with a different first character. And so, in order to not conflict with any of the other bots, I use the colon at the end instead of a special character at the beginning. Sometimes it's confusing because people type in with a colon and it's a command.
Okay. So if I type this one, it's deployed to upstate, right?
Right. Okay, and it defines your locker so that you can use it again. And this is, part of the plan is to have personal macros which override the system macros.
Okay.
So you can define your own ballot contract that's different from the system ballot contract if you want. And that's one way you can be more secure, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So I always trust my own macro model. The system only,
we need more people involved with robot development so that we can get all these fancy features back. Right now, it's just for demonstration. Okay, mostly. Okay.
So the deployment cost for this one is
I don't know.
pretty high.
I don't know that this means much, but yeah, it's relatively high. Okay. Okay, and the locker nonce. You know what a nonce is? Like every time you access the locker, you have to increment this one.
Right.
That prevents
the transaction number.
it prevents replay.
Yep.
And so ordinarily, if you're writing your own code, you don't have to worry about that. Versus, the macros take care of it. And then we just it shows here what's in your locker, an address, which has a,
Write only.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
it gives you a peak capability,
Mhm.
an inbox capability, a peak capability,
Mhm.
and a receive capability.
Yep.
So this is how you get things and send things.
Mhm.
And you know, people send to you on this inbox address, so you can share that with them.
Mhm.
But it also defines your inbox for you.
Mhm.
This is just for convenience.
Mhm.
Okay, people can say dollar inbox adequately, and they can send you that.
Right. So where is the private key stored?
No, it's constructed from your Discord account.
Okay.
Okay, and it's so it's in the robot code.
I
So to be secure, you need your own agent to supply the key.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
but for demonstration purposes, we're using this Discord managed account.
Okay. So from my Discord ID,
Yeah.
so you put in some hash function that to got your private key.
Yeah, it's actually constructed from your internal private, your internal Discord identity identity number. Okay, so all of this stuff is, you know, I mean, it's a work in progress. It needs more. So you have now you have an account.
Mhm.
So I can do a send, or I can do a chat.
Mhm.
Quote static key. Nice to see you have a rchain ID. Okay, and then
So this message will hit the RSpace.
yeah,
Cool. That's nice.
okay, so if I show
So
and I can just
I can find my message retrieve this
you
message
can
from the block.
you can do a peak colon
Uh-huh.
STD out, star STD out.
Mhm.
Do a show
Peak column.
asterisk STD out. Okay, I want to see what this did.
Like this thing.
Where is it? Oh, yeah. 1 second. Let me take this. Let me do this first. Did I see this? I did this chat command and it did it.
Yep.
Now I want to see what it did. So I do a show.
Mhm.
Okay, of the same thing.
Mhm.
And then, oopsie daisy. What did I do wrong?
I think you pasted something you didn't want to paste in there.
Oh, shoot chat. Can you put a command in one line?
Well, that's supposed to work for the show.
Okay.
Oh, maybe it doesn't work for the show.
You need a code.
Shows it how something is defined, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to use the show command.
Well, like debug.
I want to use the echo command.
Echo, yeah. Echo.
Okay, I don't even know Macro.
Actually, it's the battlefield.
Echo will show me the row line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the show just shows me how it's defined. It doesn't take arguments. Okay, so if I want the arguments substituted, I use the echo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I see the row line that's being executed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then I do a lookup of the URI of your inbox, and we use this percent to concatenate names in macrollang. Okay, it's not part of rowlang. Okay, because I want to make a macro name.
Yeah.
So to construct a macro name, I use the percent. So I define standard out, and look up, and a return channel. I look up your inbox URI. I read to return it to the return channel. So that, so now I read the inbox. I mean, if you're watching this and you don't know rowlang, there's only two things you can do in rowlang, really. One is you can send a message to a channel or a name. And so I'm sending to the name lookup the tuple here of the URI of Addict's inbox, and the channel to return the value on. So you can write to a channel. And the other thing you do is read from the channel, which is 4.
Any country, only I can read from this inbox. Only I can do that because it's encrypted with my private key. Right.
Yeah. You can only, in order to have a read permission, you have to open your locker and get the read capability.
Yeah.
Nobody else has that read capability but you. Now you could share it. You can let somebody else read your mail, but you probably don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You might want to give them a peek capability so they can read it but not read it.
Oh, so I can send a peek.
You have a peek capability and
I can send a peek capability to other people. That's
my
wife. Yeah. You want to audit my my mail? Good.
Yeah.
Oh, and another question is, only I can read my chat.
Right.
But people, everybody on the blockchain knows you send a message, right?
Yes.
That's a public.
They can see on the blockchain, okay, but
Maybe
first of all, they have to know who the URI belongs to, right? Yeah. So in the history, if they were to follow it back, they could probably figure it out.
But if we want to implement something like secret chat, we don't want people to know Jim send one message to Activity.
Right. Well, yeah, and that's basically handled by setting up multiple accounts. Okay, so that
like a Linux signature system.
Yeah, so you can set up multiple accounts on keybase or Discord. One is proven account. It's not anonymous. Everybody knows who you are.
Yeah.
Right. You set up another account without any proofs,
Right.
and nobody knows who that is. And Discord allows you to set up multiple accounts.
So what's the command to pick my my inbox?
Yeah.
Stand up.
Yeah. Now, that'll show you everything in your inbox. And everything in your inbox is that one chat. Okay, now if we do a define chat. Let's see what chat commands there are. Oops. Find colon. So you could, if you do a colon rechat, it'll actually receive it and it won't be in your inbox anymore. And we look at echo rechat. We can see what it is. We can show chat. Okay. You see rechat is just a receive of chat from your mailbox.
Mm-hmm.
So you build one macro on top of the other. So, right. Okay, and when you expand it all, it looks like this. Now the receive is probably also defined in terms of other macros. May not be. What? Oh, I did the same thing twice. So, receive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's not many macros. Okay, oh, no, didn't want it. So this is how it's defined. So I didn't use many macros in here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean, these are the redundant types that are substituted in there, the arguments that are given. The chat is the type. So that's what I'm going to receive from the inbox. And, you know, this handles accessing your locker.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, you know, this is not safe here, but with the community contracts, we can replace all this.
Mm-hmm.
With the inbox that you have registered with the community, which you can control.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, this is my inbox today. Tomorrow you say, this is my inbox.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, he's making a new inbox, whatever. So you control that. Here, like you said, somebody could redefine what your inbox is. Not fixed, right? But good, okay for demo right now because we know how to fix it. Okay, and then here we put in the private key, but there's no way that's Discord holds that secret right now.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the code, the robot code, you can figure it out.
Yeah.
Which is why you need to improve that. Okay, and then it checks to see if you actually have an inbox that can, you know, with a receive capability. And prints out an error, else, which I guess you'll never see really, because if you have a locker, you have an inbox to create at the same time. Normally, they don't have to be. And then we have the receive capability. We write to that the type of mail we want to receive, and then this subtype return dot. Well, let's just give it a variable number of arguments. Okay, so the dot means that we could have more arguments.
Where the data used?
This dot here.
Which core is this?
Which what?
The dot?
That means, okay, so in other words, you send the subtype and the return, both as the same. I mean, where did I call it? Okay, I put the output standard out,
Oh, okay.
and I didn't give a subtype.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I could have said, you could have said, well, you didn't do a rechat, but yeah. But you could do it. What this means is you have an optional number of arguments here.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do a chat, and you could give a subtype Jim Scarver.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so where did you show the subtype here is Jim Scarver.
Okay.
So if you said,
Receive.
if you said rechat,
Mm-hmm.
rechat doesn't take any arguments.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I didn't do it. Okay, but the receive takes argument.
Mm-hmm.
So you could say receive chat, comma Jim Scarver, comma standard out,
Mm-hmm.
and that's reflected down here. We give a subtype Jim Scarver and a return. Just a very, these could be one or two or more arguments here. And
I will implement the send lock, send the receive lock.
send receive what?
Lock. Red.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, we have to put it on keybase first.
Oh yes. That's
On testnet, I guess it's okay.
uh-huh.
We can do it on testnet. Right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But we don't care.
That will be fine, right?
Yeah. So we have to put it on keybase first, and we have to provide a way for you to sign the message.
Yep.
And either that's going to be through an updated rchain browser plugin,
Mm-hmm.
or we just put the signed message, paste it into Discord,
Mm-hmm.
or you have your own bot that or user agent that keeps your key.
Right.
So this keeps key in the browser.
I had never seen that before, Jim.
What? rchain?
Yeah, that signing thing up in the window there.
That's the browser, the Chrome browser extension, rchain.
Oh, it's working.
It used to work, but things have changed. Everything needs to be updated.
So rchain is like
It's a
MetaMask. It's similar to MetaMask.
yeah.
Cool.
But it doesn't. The only thing it does is sign. It signs the message. You put in here the message you want to sign, and you sign it. You get the password, and you get a signature, right? Okay, and then it should have a button here to paste it in. Put it in your copy buffer so you paste it in where you want it.
Okay, then the robot will do this.
Right.
My money will empty.
Yeah. Well, actually, robot doesn't need it. Robot, I mean, you could sign something that way, but with robot, it has a private key that it's using on your behalf.
Yeah.
So for demo or testing purpose, testnet purposes, you don't have to use rchain. But for real money, we need to do something better. Okay, so tell me what you want to see. Let me just show you. Did I can show you share, and this is how we share permission. We can see that the share I give your username,
Mm-hmm.
and I give the type and the subtype of what I want to share. So if I do a
I
peek,
share peak chat with you.
you could, yeah, I mean, you could do that. But let's look at something more reasonable. Um, okay, let's say, uh-oh. I was debugging the last time and I got an error in my, so it didn't get around to updating my locker maps.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to define locker notes, Jim Scarver is 11.
Mm-hmm.
So it incremented my nonce, but it didn't succeed in accessing the locker because of the bug in my program.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I manually set. It tells me here it expected 11. So I set it to 11 so that now it should work. Okay. Let's say community collab admin permission.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have an admin.
Here it is.
I have the admin permissions
Mm-hmm.
in the collab. Okay, I have grant permissions,
Mm-hmm.
and the grant permissions is what is used internally. Really, I don't have to know about it
Mm-hmm.
so that you can update your own entry.
Mm-hmm.
I can grant you permission to update your own entry in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you change your inbox and you want to change it, update it. You can read the directory
Mm-hmm.
of members,
Mm-hmm.
and you can write to the directory of members.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so so if we look at the share, okay, I can peek at the type and subtype, community collab, and I get this map of capabilities. Okay, so I can share with Attic B, community collab. Now you're the admin for the Chinese community in the collab.
Okay.
Okay, and if you do a peek now of
My stand output.
standard output, you should see that you have admin, now have community admin capability. And we're running out of time. But I think this has been a pretty reasonable introduction to programming in Golang.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's a starting point
Mm-hmm.
with people. And this, you know, the important thing is how we share capabilities. And I think, you know, understanding how that capability model works with Golang is a key thing to understanding how you actually use Golang. We do our applications, our groupware applications. Okay, I have something waiting, a robot. It should be ready by then. New server. Why didn't he join the thing? The bum?
I mean, this year's
Yeah.
ballot,
Okay, you can set up a board community. Sure. We have a collab community. We'll have an rchain community that only has verified rchain members. So like, only rchain members can vote. At the rate of people's engagement in our work studies, it'll never be developed. I'm retired. I'm ready to turn over the baton to the kids. Let them carry on. Okay.
The first code is GitHub.
Yeah. Okay. And if you look, okay, you can find anything in the collab log. Okay. Control F. We do a find. We put in something we want to find. Okay, and we can find the current state document for the trusted proof. Plus, liquid democracy plus trust vector prototype and roll line. Okay, and we have in here the description, justification, and I'm looking for people to make comments in here. It must be perfect. I must be perfect. Nobody has any comments.
Yes, it's actually true, right? To use.
So then we have the user stories, like Make My Locker, we just did. Right, we have the community contract, New Balance, vote results. We have contracts that we're using. Macros I haven't specified here much. And then we have the digital act collector, okay, which we're cooperating with on governance and identity and the social ledger. Social ledger is more important than the financial ledger. In fact, the financial ledger is just a subset, small subset of the social ledger. Yeah, well, we talked about it before with controlled privacy. And that's it for today, folks. Any last minute comments?
I have nothing. Good luck on the chat, the talk tomorrow, and we'll look forward to hearing feedback from that.
All right. Thanks for hanging out, Gary, and we'll see you next time.
Yes.
And I guess Adi didn't show up today because he knew I was traveling.
Oh, yes.
Westfield, New Jersey, at Adi's place. They served me a wonderful Chinese lunch with
Fantastic.
tofu and dumplings and good spicy hot peppers.
Well, nice to finally get to meet you, Attic V, and I enjoyed, thanks for hosting the session today.
Yeah, me too. Nice to see you, Gary. I hope someday we can also meet in person.
Yes, that would be wonderful. All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, guys.